I always think it's a bit of a sister series, like it's got a commonalities with 9/11 One Day in America because of the approach of being archive only and survive. But so they're similar in many ways. They're also different in many other ways because say 9/11, it's about an evil that's human created. It's people did this, and this is about a natural disaster, and so you can't just blame humanity. You can't blame people, and this is something that human beings have dealt since the beginning of time. You have all these big events that are really life-shaking, right, and very thought-provoking and life-altering because there isn't an easy explanation. There's just so much tragedy, and I think the what we see in all these documentaries, or particularly in this one, is just how even after all of that happened, people still came together to help each other and to kind of soldier on. And in a way, I think that's the story of humanity. I'm always amazed, when I do series like this and I bring stories, together, and there's so many stories. It doesn't matter how much you think you've seen, doesn't matter how much do you think you know about the world, but you just find jaw-dropping and amazing and often very, very inspirational and very, very moving. And so then I think, well, if I'm finding that, I just imagine the audience will also find that as well. So yeah, so there were just so many moments that we found, and we find somebody in the archive, and then they tell us their story, and it's one of such heroism and selfless sacrifice and solidarity. And then you realize, oh, this person here, this story, it's not like this one individual thing. This is representative of something that was happening all in countries all over the Indian Ocean. The stories that we identify are, something that capture the spirit of what happened that day. There have been a number of documentaries done after tsunami, but some of them very, very good and very powerful. Often the focus would be very heavily on Westerners and tourists, because often those were the easiest to secure archive, right? Because they film something on a handycam and they pass it on to journalists. It was imperative that we would actually have to go to Indonesia and to Thailand and Sri Lanka and find archive that had never been shown before. And we did that, and we found hours and hours of extraordinary video archive. And then the second part, we wanted to find the people in that archive and hear their stories. And so often you hear people speaking in their own language, which I think is a wonderful thing. You hear people speaking directly to you. It could be a Thai mother, it could be an officer in Sri Lanka or a doctor in Sri Lanka, and as well we also obviously hear from a lot of Westerners who were caught up. So you get the whole tapestry of humanity all united in one day by this cataclysmic event, and I thought that would be very powerful.